or access to markets. So we planned a lot of speed dates with you in this afternoon. I think around 70 speed dates this afternoon. My name is MJ van de Boomgaard. I'm the liaison manager of KPN, and my team is your representative within KPN for making connections. We work demand driven, so my colleagues give me challenges and I connect to you to see if we can fulfill them. As well as this event is hosted by KPN Ventures, which is investing in scale-ups who are doing more than 500k revenue and who are strategically relevant to KPN, and where we are strategically relevant for you as well. I'm here in a beautiful location with a high-tech environment. It's not their fault, but we're in the innovation playground now. And we just opened this location, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago. In the innovation playground, all external people by appointment can test current or future techniques from KPN. For example, we launched 3 weeks ago a SCAF module, which is a future network option in the IoT network, as well as you can do some security things in this location, as well as work with our APIs. Check out the website, kpn.com/innovation, and go to the field labs and then to the innovation playground if you're interested and if you want to experiment with us. We would love to have you over or get you in online events. Today's program, I'll go very fast to it. Later on, I have Lars Krama, who is telling you more about Up Rotterdam, which is a local ecosystem but with worldwide impact. We have 3 amazing data-driven cases by Dennis de Groot that will give you an insight like, okay, what's KPN doing in this field and how can I, as a data-driven tech startup, join? We have 5 rounds of speed dates, and we have, which is very important, and you might have used it during our 20-minute technical issues, the Swapcard app. Download it, go to your the 17th startup evening and see who is attending and make connections what you're looking for. So look to that. If you want to contact us, please find the email addresses here on the slide. But in case of time, I go to my prominent guest, Lars Krama, who's a representative of Up Rotterdam. Lars, I'm giving you here.
Thank you for joining. Again, my name is Lars Krama, and in the next less than 10 minutes or so, I'd like to give you an insight in what we do in Up Rotterdam, but particularly how that's relevant for you. So I'll share with you 3 things that you need to grow and scale your business, and there might be a 4th one, by the way. So let's dive into it. Some of you might recognize this gentleman on the screen, Derek Roos. He's the founder and CEO of Mendix, a global company in low-code app development. When he founded his company in 2005, I think he did not know how big it would become, because 13 years later, he sold the business to Siemens. And I think Mendix is one of the great successes, one of the great tech scale-ups that we have in this region, that was only able to grow to that level because they decided to move abroad, actually in 2012. So for all startups and scale-ups out there, I wish you a growth path like this company. And I'll share some of the ways to get there with you. Before we dive in, and those of you who have seen it before, the question is what percentage of startups the Netherlands gets to scale abroad? So if you think about startups in the Netherlands, what percentage do you think that actually gets to serious scale by going abroad? I'll let you think about that for a minute. Then I'm going to give away the answer. It's 0.4%. And if you think about that, that means you need 250 startups to get to one scale-up that really goes abroad and scales to significant impact. And I'm here to help you actually beat that number. So since you're in this call, you're going to beat that number, I suppose. My name is Lars Krama. I am an entrepreneur, angel investor, and the private lead of Up Rotterdam. And the nice people you see in this picture are part of the Up Rotterdam team. We are a 4-year public-private partnership to help startups and scale-ups in the Rotterdam region grow to the next level. And MEA and KPN is, of course, part of it, as I think one of the leading investors and corporate innovators in this region. The reason we do it is that Rotterdam wants to offer a home to bold startups, scale-ups, and corporates that really dare to think big. And when we talk about thinking big, we take large societal challenges. Many of you know probably the city of Rotterdam has a strong heritage as the largest port of Europe, largest in the world back in the days. But since the world is transitioning to what we call a new economy, we need startups and scale-ups to really accelerate that journey with us. Because we know that startups and scale-ups drive innovation and growth, particularly in the areas of digital, smart energy, circular, and inclusivity. So that's why we focus on startups and scale-ups. I'll share a small video. No, I'll not share a small video with you. We're going to share the link afterwards so you can look it up and have the sound with it. I'll summarize.
This is Rotterdam.
Oh, does it work? Does the sound work? Then we'll let it go.
Where guts are embraced and rewarded. Digital. Carbon neutral. And zero waste. That's our goal. Fast. We can only do this together with innovative, fast-growing companies, innovative startups and scale-ups. Our ecosystem has a lot to offer. We are globally connected. Our knowledge, talent, and the right attitude. It's all here. Together, we can make the transition to a green and digital future. Rotterdam, where you can grow and scale your business. How? We give you access to the best talent, access to capital, access to international markets, and access to a big network. This is Rotterdam. We make it happen.
So if you listened to that video, actually there are 3 things you need to scale your business were in there, right? So you probably heard the first one, access to talent. And I'm privileged enough to have built a scale-up, actually scaled it from 25 to 250, or actually 350 people. And I realized that at every growth stage, talent is the most difficult thing to tackle. So from Up Rotterdam, we really focus on making sure that the right talent is available for you startups and scale-ups. We do that, for instance, by making strong collaborations between the TU Delft, which is one of the leading tech universities in the world, and Erasmus, which is one of the leading business universities, and really making sure that those students meet up early on. But we also focus on attracting international talent for our startups and scale-ups. So access to talent is really the first pillar that we focus on. The second one is access to markets. And I think the event where you are here today is a great example of providing startups and scale-ups access to, in this case, KPN, but also all the partners that KPN has collected around them. So through Up Rotterdam, we support these kind of initiatives to make corporate startup collaborations work to really start growing and scaling your business. In addition, we help startups and scale-ups to figure out which international missions they should join, to figure out which country to go to and which clients to land in those countries. So access to markets is the second pillar. And then the third, access to capital, money to grow, or sometimes to do R&D for your business. So it doesn't matter if you're a bootstrapped company or you have a lot of R&D, or if you are a high-risk company, you're always going to need some form of capital. So through Up Rotterdam, first and foremost, we want to provide a clear understanding of what the ecosystem can offer you. And secondly, we offer tailor-made matchmaking. So just over the past 3 months, the top 30 scale-ups in our region, we have connected them to over 25 of the largest VCs in the world. So we get US VCs, Asian VCs coming over to Rotterdam to meet up with those scale-ups for their Series B or sometimes Series C rounds to get connected. And I said there was 4, right? So access to talent, market capital, those are the 3. There's actually a 4th one. And to me, that has a lot to do with This book that was written, The Serendipity Mindset, I recommend you to go check it out. And that really talks about the importance of being connected around your surroundings with your ecosystem and tapping into those connections to make them work. So the fourth pillar that we really focus on at Up Rotterdam is connecting the ecosystem, making sure that there's place for what we call structured serendipity to meet each other. We do that in many ways, but I'll show you the most practical examples. And this is also my call to action to you. Go check out finder.uprotterdam.com. In the Finder, we showcase more than 1,500 startups and scale-ups and investors and corporates in our region. I think you'll see that KPN is one of the largest actually investors in this region. And you can do all kinds of searches to either find your investor or get your company heard. So that's one. And the second thing I'd like to invite you to is to join upstreamfestival.com, which is our annual event that brings together the whole ecosystem, but also allows you to stay connected through the rest of the year. So access to market, access to capital, access to talent, and creating those connections. That's what we're about at Up Rotterdam. And I'm happy to see you. Shoot me an email, lars@uprotterdam.com, if you want to do business or grow your business in Rotterdam. Thank you, MBA.
That's why I love this city. It's a great initiative, and I have no time for Q&A, Lars, but thanks a lot. Join them. I've followed last week's festival, and it's really inspiring and amazing. And please go to Finder to add your startup there. Next guest, which is a colleague of mine, a great colleague of mine, it's Dennis de Groot. Dennis, can you see and hear us? We're checking that out as well. Just a moment.
Hello?
Yes, I hear you, Dennis. I will shortly introduce you. You're working for the Data Service Hub, and you're going to explain to the audience 3 great cases of data-driven tech that you've realized with our colleagues and with a lot of external companies. So shoot, I think there should be a bit more speed in the presentation, Dennis, for the speed dates, but you'll manage, I'm sure.
All right,
Good luck.
I will adapt, and it's a great introduction for my first slide. As what we do is help organizations to respond faster to business events, and this could be a great example of us speeding up a bit. But without joking, my name is Dennis Groot. I'm a member for KPN, also for the Data Sharing Coalition and the AI Coalition. And indeed, as KPN, we work with a lot of companies to help organizations responding faster to business events, because what we see is that the faster you are able to respond to an event, and nowadays that's always data, the more value you can create for your customer, either because you give them a more benefit, or you can make sure that you eliminate a risk. And a couple of these use cases, they all originated in a different way. The first one, it came forward from our own organization, and it's our own advanced analytics department who's doing a great job to accelerate our energy reduction. And you might think, okay, why is that a big deal for KPN? Well, if you look at KPN's energy consumption, it's similar to the whole city of The Hague. So that's a huge amount of energy being consumed. And the main equipment that's responsible for this is all the equipment that's necessary to make sure that you have a working phone or internet connection. As you can see, we have our data center. We have those lovely buildings that you see in your streets that make sure that your connectivity is available. You have all these antennas where you will see more and more with the rise of 5G. And also we in the homes themselves, we consume quite a lot of energy if you combine them for all the households who are a customer for KPN. So the objective for us from the start was, how can we make sure that we be more energy efficient by buying the right equipment, but also buying energy at the right moment in time. There again, respond faster to situations as they occur. And also see if we can do something from a business perspective on this. And how we do this is we need to connect a large varieties of data sources. If you look at what defines our energy usage, that's quite predictable on the energy we consume to make sure that internet connectivity is available. But nowadays we have the influence of wind, we have the influence of solar. So from that point of view, we have the market that fluctuates quite a lot and wants us to buy energy at certain points in time and change the prices on it. So together with quite a lot of companies, being Alink, Indutech Renewable Solutions, ICT Group, Dexter, Eneco, Nieler, and Veroamp. And all these companies provide a small part in a big solution. We try to predict and be as accurate as possible on knowing what the best moment in time is to buy energy, to store it in a battery, and for the future purposes also see if we can do that at a larger scale, not just within KPN, but also together with other parties. And these dashboards that you now see in the presentation is a few where you can see one solution being a KPN sustainability dashboards, combining the data sources of all these assets, the solar, the battery, the wind, the smart meters, combine them to one central dashboard. But then again, if other tenants want to build information products based on this data, we can grant them access if the data producers agree for the users of that data. So that's from a functional point of view what we do with the data services hub. From a technical point of view, this is a cloud solution that enables the sharing of data from an event point of view, where we can make sure that large volumes of data can be processed with a couple of standard connectors, where we provide you a secure tenant that's excluded from everyone, but also make sure that data that is provided can only be used with your permission, and also if you want to for specific use cases. So that's one of the use cases that originated from the inside of KPN and now shows a lot of potential externally. And I think you will hear some more news on this in the near future as we are aiming to start a partnership with another big Dutch company working on these smart energy solutions. So if, like they say, it's stay tuned on this. Other use case that's originated more closely to the people who are not at home, but that you saw earlier, that was created together with the IoT Academy, is the creation of an autonomous smart water taxi for this within the city of Rotterdam. You can see a beautiful picture right here. And what the aim of the project is to create a water taxi that can sail fully automatic. Nowadays, it can also already be steered remotely with a 5G connection, and you see these 4K cameras installed on the water taxi, a couple of sensors on there, and together with the city of Rotterdam, the joint development was celebrated right here. And the startup Captain KI, and also with the universities, we continue the development so that within the next 3 years we have a fully autonomous water taxi on the waters in Rotterdam, and a nice visualization where the water taxi is being trained. I can show you right here. So there you see a 3D model where the kilometers of sailing is being created for the water taxi next to the real life kilometers it's already sailing now on the Maas in Rotterdam. And this gives you a nice view of the digital twin that in also a variety of situations is being trained to sail you from A to B, and obviously from our headquarters right here, for example, towards the IoT Academy in the RDMX space. The use case And that's a very innovative one. Also with the view on 5G, but also Data Services Hub, is robotics. The challenge nowadays within the agricultural sector is being focused on making sure that labor is getting too expensive. So we need to find ways to still get the work done and picking the weeds out of the fields so that they don't interrupt the growth of other crops. And a nice view on this is you see right here. So as I was told, these are potato plants, and potatoes and sugar beets, they grow on the same fields. But if potato weeds are not picked earlier enough, or via spot spraying is being eliminated, you won't see any sugar beets, and your harvest will be ruined. So what is being done is a project together with AgroIntelli, a startup from Denmark, who created this beautiful machine right here, the Wageningen University, and us. We are building this machine that can autonomously weed the fields, finding the specific weeds that needs to be removed, and that's better also for the environment, as less the chemicals are needed. But if you are a biological farmer, also you can perform an action just cutting the weed. Similar innovations are being done there with drones. We have a Drone to Go challenge together with Rijkswaterstaat, and we there work closely together with startups Drone to Go, and exploring the options with KPN to do similar things where drones fly over fields, do observations, and companies receive outputs immediately, where we can guarantee the flow of information, and where our partners make sure that the action is being done, performed properly, and described via data. Example is showing here. Again, you see here is visualization based on the Data Services Hub, where the AgroIntelli robot connects to the platform via 4G, 5G. Also, ABMEC is is an importer of this machinery and has smart trucks. They send and receive their information to the central environment, and from there solutions can be provided, being farm maps van de deur, a bodem index can be built, but also making sure that the right actions is being sent towards the robot, and the tractor can be deployed on the surface, and can be performed with SLA and the right security. So if you look at how we can work jointly together with startups and scale-ups, you can see it in a way that when it comes to specific business knowledge, that's not our cup of tea. We are a company providing a generic infrastructure, a generic flow of information, and making sure that the data always arrives securely, at high volumes, scalable, and that nobody touches it who shouldn't. And we have a variety of services as being shown: IoT, 5G, and the KPN Data Services Hub. If we look at partners, you should be willing to develop jointly, so combine our two solutions together, where we put in the guarantees, you provide the specific solution. Also, when it comes to expectations from sales, yes, we know a lot of customers and have a lot of people you could talk to, but it's not our story. The knowledge is not there. We can make your story a better story with the guarantees we can bring, but the business knowledge that's required, we look to you to have a solid pitch on how this could and should work. So I think you've seen a couple of really nice examples of how we work together with other companies, especially the scale-ups and the startups, but also with the academic world. Yeah, and as you can see, our solutions work together with partners, so we are happy to work with you if you are willing to merge our two solutions together.
Is my sound on? Yeah, I think it is. Huh? Thanks. This is the beautiful world of data, and proud of. Sorry. Oh, Dennis, can you stop sharing the screen?
Yes.
Thanks for your presentation. I think there are no questions in the Q&A. So because of time, very well done, Dennis. Because of time, I move on. But I think in your presentation, the actual cooperation of KPN with startups and scale-ups was really proven. And you were also really specific on what type of companies you look for. And I think we're a great tech team together with Lars and Dennis. We started 20 minutes too late. We had a lot of technical difficulties, but we'll still make it to the speed date. So thanks for that, guys, and thanks for being a tech team. For my next slide, I think I have to do that myself. Does it work? The next slide? Guys, does the next slide work? Guys? Yeah. Here you can find the challenges, because I mentioned at the start that we work demand driven. I have to look at the slides a bit. Okay, we work demand driven. You can find the challenges, the current challenges we have on the website kpn.com/innovation. So that will give you an insight if there will be a fit with your company. Actually, now we're going to start with the speed dates. All the companies invited for the speed dates did accept or did get a link for the speed date breakout. Please be in time. We start at before 4. You have a 20-minute speed date, and there are some more guidance on the speed dates. I can read them from this part, but I think the main message is make it interactive. So don't start presenting your solution, but do a short pitch of 1 or 2 minutes, and then start the dialogue and be very clear on what you're looking for, or from the corporate or investor side, if there would be potential for collaboration. And don't forget to finish 5 minutes or 2 minutes in advance to wrap up the next steps, because I think that's the most beneficial for your speed date. We have 5 rounds. We won't come back in this area. I'd like to thank Jurjen and Jasper, Rick and Rowan. You might come into the screen for setting up this awful technical challenge. There's a big studio over here, but thanks a lot, guys. Really well done. Thank you. You should be in the camera as well. Okay. Good luck with, this is Jurjen Lenkek from the RDM Makerspace. Go to your speed dates or have a short coffee break. You still have 2 minutes, and have a lot of fun. Sorry for the technical issues at the start, but I think we managed fine at the end. Enjoy, and love to see you around. Bye bye.